Oh, hello. Welcome to Gourmet, the channel where I cook my way through all the cookbooks I own and have never used. We are working with the delicious Disney cookbook, where we'll be making the famous Canadian Cheddar Cheese Soup. I know loads of people who like this one. I like this one. I'm excited to give it a try. So let's just get started. So first things first with this one, we're going to try to get all of our ingredients prepped and ready to go before we start any of the cooking. Just because I think pretty much while we cook this, um, most of the ingredients up front are going to have to be done. The only thing we can kind of wait on is our cheese. So we'll get back to that in a minute. But we're going to start with celery. We need 3 celery ribs cut into 1/4-inch pieces. I'm just going to guesstimate what constitutes a celery rib. So I may have less celery, but I just didn't want to buy the big bag of celery. I don't eat enough celery to make that worth it. So yeah, that's that's just how it's gonna go. Do we think that's 3 ribs? I'm gonna say so. I think it'll be fine. We'll be okay. I am gonna go ahead and just take this. Actually, just cause I'm gonna chop that whole section off. Close enough. Okay. So here's our celery. We're gonna go ahead and we'll just kind of okay. Our celery is done. They may or may not be 1/4-inch pieces. Great. And we'll set these to the side. And we're going to get ready for our onion. We need 1 medium onion cut into 1/4-inch pieces. This is the smallest onion I could find. I don't think this is a medium onion. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe just do half of it. And I think that that's probably a medium onion. Don't quote me. But I've had this before. And I feel like it wasn't super oniony. So yeah, but maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Who knows? But we're going to go ahead and get that off. So this is always the really annoying part with onions. Okay. And what? We need 1/4-inch pieces? Do they? I bet they mean cubed. Well, sure. I'm not great at that. Okay. Just put these little guys on the plate. We're cooking this, so it'll get smaller. Smaller. Jeez. I guess it will get smaller in a way. It's just going to get cooked. I don't know. I already don't really care about the size. But we're trying our best. Look at us using like all of the half of the onion. Oh, I just spilled some. Well, we'll get those in a second. Let's get our onions onto the plate. I think there's definitely a piece of skin in there. But honestly, this is starting to hurt my eyes. This is a real oniony onion. And it hurts everything, I think. Let's go. Oh, I'm crying. Okay. Onion is finished. So we'll move that to the side. Whew, now that I've half cleaned my kitchen from the world's most potent red onion, that really got me. Whew. We're going to go ahead and cut some bacon. We need a half pound of bacon cut into 1-inch pieces. This is bacon that I've had in my freezer. I probably have a little over half left, but it's not going to be enough to quite save. So we're going to call that a half pound. And I'm just going to go ahead and slice it. Okay, we've got our bacon cut, and I'm going to turn this burner on. I'm just going to throw the bacon in. And we're supposed to cook this on medium heat for 5 minutes, stirring constantly. So I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to get a spoon. And I'm assuming at some point during the bacon we'll check in. I don't really think you need to watch the bacon cook. Let's do a mid-bacon check-in. It's bacon. It's smoky. I don't know what I expected, really. I'm not even sure it's been 5 minutes. I honestly lost track of time. So I'm going to count like 3 more minutes from here. I was doing some chores. My mind's been, my mind has been preoccupied because the new Animal Crossing update came out. And that's kind of all I've been doing today is just playing that game. And somehow watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I gotta say, Jennifer Tilly is by far my favorite. She's not even a full-time housewife. She's just a friend of. But she's by far one of the most entertaining. Just because of who she is. Okay, well that's it. I'll see you guys when the next 3 minutes are up, I guess. So it's been just... Oh, well, I already admitted to not knowing how much time. It's been 5 minutes-ish. But I think our bacon is there. It's said to basically saute until golden brown, or not golden brown, slightly brown. And I think we were there when we started, and it's just starting to cook even more. So now we're going to add in our vegetables. So we need our onion. That was celery. Good thing we need celery too. Let's try the onion now. Oh boy. So celery, onion, we've got our bacon in there. And then we need to add 4 tablespoons of butter. Luckily, I just had 4 tablespoons of butter already ready to go on accident. Not sure when I used this or what I used it for, but hey, every little bit counts. And we're just going to go ahead and give this a stir. And we're cooking this for 5 minutes until the onion is soft. So, yeah, I guess that's what we'll be doing. Obviously, it smells great. I can tell you that. But I'm not going to make you watch this. Once 5 minutes is up, we'll come back. So we've hit the 5-minute mark. Now it's time to move on to the next step, which is we have a cup of flour that I pre-measured because that's, I don't know, the theme of the video apparently. And we are going to pour this in and stir this and cook the flour for about 4 minutes over medium heat. So I guess we just get that started. I will say this smells so good. I hope it turns out well. I mean, I don't see why not, but you never know. But it truly, just the bacon and the onion and the celery, that's a combo right there. So we're at the 4-minute mark with this. Now it's time to add in our chicken stock. Full disclosure, I already had chicken broth, so we're adding chicken broth. I could have bought chicken stock, but look, this is all about using what we have on hand if we have it already. And we need 4 cups, or we need 3 cups of chicken stock. So let's go ahead and start measuring. Here's 1, 2, 3. And now it says to whisk it in. And then we're going to bring this to a boil for a minute. So we'll raise the heat a little bit. And then we're going to simmer this for 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. Ooh, this is so thick already. Oh, gosh. Okay, we're going to... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're boiling. We are boiling. Does this not seem really thick already? Is this what they meant? That's 3 cups of chicken stock, a cup of flour, 3 cups of chicken stock. Okay, well, we're just going to cook this for 15 minutes. I'm going to stir occasionally. I don't know if this is right. This seems like it's not simmering. But, oh well. And then we'll just stir this occasionally. So we'll... Is this supposed to be a mass already? Whatever. We're going to keep going. We'll go along. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. So I've decided that while our... whatever this is... simmers, and I stir it occasionally. I don't know, guys. I might be doing this. This feels wrong in every sense of the word, but I'm doing it. I'm going to go ahead and grate some of our cheese that we are supposed to use for the soup. So the soup calls for a pound of white cheddar. So I just got this Tillamook white cheddar cheese. And I'm just going to grate it on here, probably this side. And yeah, then we'll add, that's going to be the cheese for our cheese soup. But I'm not going to make you watch that. I just wanted to tell you guys what was happening. It has been 15 minutes. Our mass is still 1 mass. I'm really curious how this recipe is going to come out because we've obviously, like, we've made a type of roux, right? But we have the vegetables in there. And I don't know. I feel like, you know, roux makes sauce thicker a lot of times. You know, I could be wrong. I know it adds flavor and everything, but is this not just going to be like super, super thick? Oh boy. I just flung that somewhere. Well, you know what? Too late now. Let's go ahead and add our 4 cups of milk. So we just need 4 cups of milk. I am actually, before I add this one, I'm going to turn down the heat because it says not to, don't boil. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go ahead and stir that in. I've got this kind of on like a medium low. Not really what the cookbook says to do, but it says medium. But I'm not trying to overcook this. I don't know. I have so many thoughts happening in my head, and the fact that it looks like this just does not look great. No, like, you can see all the flour and everything kind of coming apart, which is great, but I don't know. I want this to turn out because the soup is delicious. But at this point, I'm a little worried. I guess I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Perfect. So we're back. It's been just at 10 or 10. It's been just at 15 minutes. I promise. I promise I've been timing it. And this is what our soup is looking like. It actually looks pretty good. It's definitely going to be thick. And it is a thick soup in the restaurant, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm still excited to try this one. Now, I will say I don't think it's going to save very well, but I will cross that bridge personally when I get there. So now that we have all that done, I'm going to go ahead and remove this from the heat. So I'm just going to... There we go. Can you still see it? Yeah, perfect. Okay. Sometimes you got to check. So we're removing from the heat, and we are going to stir in our cheese. So we had a pound of white cheddar. We're ending with about a pound of white cheddar. I'm not going to lie. I definitely ate some of it as I was shredding it. So the recipe calls for a pound. This is just less than a pound. Let's get this guy in there too. There we go. That one wasn't bad. Scrape off all the cheese. This is so much cheese. I know it's called cheese soup, but you know, sometimes you don't think about it until you see the amount of actual like cheese that goes into it. But I'm excited. I am still ready. We're just gonna stir in the cheese until it's all melted. Okay, well, I gotta say that was pretty quick. I feel like all the cheese has melted in here. I mean, look at that. That looks so good. I think she's a little thick, so we might thin her out a little bit. And the recipe says you can do that, so that's fine. But we'll get there in a minute. I am going to add in... Well, I guess I should get ready for the things that I forgot to get ready first. Okay. So now we're going to add in Tabasco, some Worcestershire. I don't know how to say this word. Does anybody? Salt, pepper, and then we need a half cup of warm beer. So I Googled it. You guys are going to be probably mad at me, but this is Yuengling traditional lager. The recipe calls, the recipe calls for just half cup of warm beer. It doesn't say what, but I Googled it, and the internet said it was probably a lager or like something along those lines. And so I Googled Canadian lagers, and I'm sure if I had looked harder, I could have found them, but I didn't want to go to 18 stores, so this is what the Yuengling is, just what my grocery store had, and that's what I bought. But let's finish this guy off. So we need a tablespoon of Tabasco, so we're just going to eyeball it. I think a tablespoon's quite a lot of Tabasco. I'm going to call that probably like a tablespoon of Tabasco, just because it is floating all on the top. And then we need a tablespoon of Worcester. That's probably a tablespoon of that. And then I am going to measure out the beer. We need a half cup of beer, but not yet because I forgot to add in pepper. And of course, it's pepper and salt to taste. So I'm going to go pretty heavy with the pepper because we haven't added any pepper yet. I know we do have the Tabasco in there, but there's a lot of milk in this. So I think we'll need quite a bit of pepper, but we can always add more. And then we need some salt. I'm going to go much lighter on the salt because we do have all that bacon in there. Okay. Then we're going to give this a stir. Ooh, she is thick. But she smells delicious. Somehow the Tabasco brought out more of the cheese smell. I can't say that I knew that that's how that would work. But it smells a lot more like cheese now. Okay, let's keep stirring. You know what I should have bought to go with this? I mean, not that the soup is not its own meal, it really is. But I feel like I should have got like a filet or something just to pretend like I was back in the steakhouse. That's really all I want to do. But anyway, here's our soup. It smells great. I'm going to go ahead and measure out our half cup of beer. Maybe just a smidge more. And then we're going to stir this in. I'm going to hope that it's not too thick. I'm definitely stirring slowly. The cookbook says you can cook this in a 4 to 5 quart Dutch oven. This is a 4 quart, and we're pretty much at the max. So it's probably better in a 5, but you can do it in a 4. You just kind of got to go really slow. This is thick, but it doesn't seem too thick. It doesn't seem like what's the word I'm looking for? Like unmanageable. Now I do know when I save this and I reheat it, I'm definitely gonna have to probably add like more beer or milk or something, even water, which I know is probably sacrilege, but just to thin it out a little bit while I reheat it. But yeah, that is actually our entire meal. So I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna go ahead and plate it. We're just gonna finish it off with some chopped scallions, and then we'll give it a try. I got so hot standing over that pot and just stirring everything. Um, it almost feels like a sunburn. I know it's not, and I don't think it's like, a steam burn or anything, but it feels kind of like that. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at our final product. It's soup, so we can only get so much of a view. But it smells fantastic. This is going to be our bite. That's great. That is really good. Look at that. Look at that. It tastes like what I remember. Um, of course, depending on the type of beer, it's going to taste a little different, but the overall general taste is definitely there. I like this one. Um, Maybe I shouldn't go that. I like this one. I'm excited to eat it for dinner right now. But no, I think it was really easy to make. The ingredients were just like easy to find. I didn't have any issues with any of the ingredients. Um, the cheese was, well, I got the cheese buy one get one, so it wasn't as expensive as it could have been, but it definitely wasn't, the cheapest. But overall, I do think like maybe minus the beer and minus the cheese, everybody kind of already has these ingredients or can easily get them. So no complaints for me. Does this stand up to the restaurant? Yes and no. I mean, yes, because the flavor's there, right? But no, because you're not in the restaurant. And who doesn't like the Canadian Steakhouse at Epcot? But anyways, I think I'm gonna give this one a 9. I thoroughly enjoy this. I'm excited to have it for dinner. I am a little worried about how it's gonna save, but that's not on the recipe. That's just because I live alone, so I have to figure out what to do with all of this. Um, but yeah, I highly recommend this one. I liked it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.